Alright, hello everyone, my name is Unstable Gaming and welcome to another video of my predictions. This month's Summerslam. SummerSlam's coming around the corner this Sunday, live in Brooklyn. Um, these are just my predictions on the pay-per-view. It looks quite exciting for some matches are a waste, but you know what? I gotta make predictions for them, so let's get ahead to it. Now our first match is Cesaro and Sheamus, the first match of the best of 7 series that they have began last week on Raw. Mick Foley said that they're going to do a best of 7 matches. The first one will be on SummerSlam. I'm guessing the rest will be on Raw. I'm not positive of how this is going to go. So yeah, first person to win 4 matches would win, I guess. So for this, my winner for this, because it's a best of 7, will be Sheamus. He's going to get the first win. Those give it to him, and then it'll probably go back and forth into the 7th match, where I'm guessing Cesaro will win the entire series. So, yeah, just because it's a best of 7. If this was a 1-on-1, it would be Cesaro, I'm guessing, but they put in a best of 7, so it'll go Sheamus, Cesaro, so on, and then the final match will be Cesaro. So our second match is for the Intercontinental Champion, and it is between The Miz and Apollo Crews. Now, I can't help but stare at Apollo Crews for a second. That just does not look right with his head. It looks like he's got a huge head and no neck. But anyways, for the battle, or was it? No, sorry. It was a triple threat that Apollo Crews won, beating Baron Corbin and Kalisto. And that sent him to SummerSlam to face The Miz. Not too much has been on this rivalry. I think they did more with Darren Young, surprisingly. But anyways, just for a quick recap on this, or just to pick the winner, I think Miz will retain his title. I can't see Apollo winning. They didn't really do anything, unless they do something tonight on SmackDown, because today is SmackDown. I don't have time to record again after. But anyways, I think it will be The Miz winning, unless they give some, I guess, hype, you can say, into the match tonight. It could be Apollo, but I'm gonna say The Miz on this one. So, 1 year ago at SummerSlam, the New Day won the tag team champions, and now that was a year ago, and today they're still tag team champions. I think they are the longest tag team champions, and that is awesome. That is great. At first, when they were heel when they won the champions, and now they're faces. I loved the New Day back then too when they were heels. I thought they were great. They were great champions. And now they face Gallows and Anderson the Club after what happened to Big E after he received that injury. I don't know if that was really an injury or not, but he went into the ring post groin first. And then there's been this whole Dr. Gallows and Anderson making fun of Big E's testicles, I guess you could say, yeah. So yeah, anyways, I think this is the end of the reign of the New Day. This is the end, I think. It's been a great year for the New Day. I just think it comes to an end only because they have Xavier. Now, don't get me wrong. He is a great performer and all that, but I think they're going to put this into a storyline where because it's always Kofi and Big E that fight for the titles. So without Big E, they're going to make it seem like it's all Xavier's fault, since every pay-per-view they fought for the titles was those two, with Xavier ringside. So they're going to make it seem like it was Xavier's fault, and then something might happen. I don't know. Maybe they'll retain the titles and then keep it for another month, but it don't matter to me, because I want the New Day to win, but I gotta say that the club will win this. So, our next match is just a tag team match between Big Cass and Enzo Amore, and Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, or I think they're called Jericho. Jericho. I'm not positive if that's a name. They have some kind of name. I forget what they called them each other, but it was I can't remember. But anyways, this was between Enzo Amore and Chris Jericho at first, because the Raw after Sasha Banks won her title, I'll get into that. Um, they decided the Raw after would start off with the women's, which is I don't think has happened before. I don't really remember it happening where they start something off with the women's division. But anyways, Enzo Amore and Chris Jericho came up after that, and they went one-on-one, and then Big Cass came. Jericho said he had a bodyguard, gave him some really weird fake name, and then it turned out to be Kevin Owens. These guys were at it just a few months ago for the Money in the Bank, and then I'm just glad that it's over with Sami Zayn. I'm glad that Kevin Owens is done with Sami Zayn now. We don't have to see that again. It's been almost half a year, or maybe has been half a year. But I think for this it will be Enzo Amore and Big Cass, just because there's nothing really to prove into this match. It's just a tag team match. It's more on Chris Jericho and Enzo Amore, really. It's more of a one-on-one feud, but since he's a tag team competitor, you gotta make it a tag team match. But yeah, Enzo and Cass will get the win. So next we have the first match that was announced for SummerSlam back in July between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. They have put a lot of hype into this match since after the draft, since Orton made his return. It was quite good. They did invasions, which was pretty cool. I think people were looking forward to invasions after the draft between anyone really, but I wasn't expecting it to be this. I didn't really expect a huge promo of this, but they made it pretty huge with them fighting each other. I thought they were just going to save it for SummerSlam, but Orton invaded Raw, RKO'd Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar invaded SmackDown, F5ing Randy Orton. Then they agreed that they wouldn't go to each other's shows anymore until SummerSlam. And now they're just going to face one-on-one. It'll be a good match, I think. Not the best of the night. I don't think that will be the best match of the night. But for the winner, I am going to say probably the winner will be Randy Orton. Because although this is one-on-one match, although it's Brock Lesnar and he's unstoppable, I think they're going to make this into kind of like the Undertaker Brock Lesnar sort of thing, and maybe make it another match for another pay-per-view like they did with Hell in a Cell and SummerSlam. So maybe they'll go into a Hell in a Cell match or something. Maybe they'll go into Night of Champions. That's the next pay-per-view. Oh wait, no, they wouldn't, because they're on separate brands, so it'd be Survivor Series, but I don't see that happening. I don't see them waiting for 3 months before they could fight again. But I'm still going to say Orton on this. So for the United States Champion, we have Rusev versus Roman Reigns. Of course it's Roman Reigns, though. So, after Raw, the Raw after the draft, was it? Or a few Raws afterwards, Reigns just puts himself with Rusev, because, you gotta make him the face. Every single time it's Roman Reigns. He is annoying, of course, but yeah, I hate him. I hate Roman Reigns. I hate how they just put him into every single title match possible. He just loses the WWE Champion, loses the Triple Threat match, so they gotta put him they have to put another belt on him. They gotta put another belt on him. It can't be the top belt because he got suspended. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna make it a mid-card belt. Whether that means Reigns is going to go down as a mid-carder, and if he wins, he might be, and then after he loses the title, he could be a mid-carder now, and then slowly Roman Reigns will go away. In a way, that's a good thing. But they put a lot of hype into this match, though, with the wedding invasion, which happens involving every single wedding, except for the Jake the Snake and Miss Elizabeth one, but, or sorry, Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth, with Lana getting the cake from Rusev / Roman, but they had a main event on Raw. Wasn't that, I didn't think it was that great, but for SummerSlam it's gonna be Roman Reigns because it's Roman Reigns and they gotta make him look unstoppable. I don't want to see him as USA champion. But I hope Rusev wins. I hope something happens in a way and not just let him win clean. Let Rusev win clean, so we don't have to see Roman skip. He can skip a pay-per-view, but it's gonna be Roman Reigns. I can say that. I don't want to believe that, but I'm gonna say it. So next we have the third match, technically the second, but between John Cena and AJ Styles. Back at Battleground, it was a tag team match with John Cena and Enzo and Moray and Big Cass, and then the Club with AJ. And now it's just the last. This is probably going to be the last match between these two. AJ Styles said to Cena if he loses, he's got to kind of say he's the best, or this will prove who's the greatest. And because I said this in the last video, and I think I said this in the Money in the Bank, I'm not really that sure, that it will be a 3 pay-per-view match between the two, and that Cena will win. Cena, because AJ won at Money in the Bank, Cena's going to get the win at Battleground, which he did, and then Cena will win again. Just because it's, John Cena's the face, so you got to give him, I guess, the win. I don't really care for this. They're both great. It'll be a good match, I think, because it's at SummerSlam. It'll be the better match. So it'll make it a good match, and then Cena will win. I think this rivalry will end. AJ Styles might go back to being a face. Maybe he'll stay heel for another pay-per-view or so. And then, yeah, that'll be it. So next we have the women's champion Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. The Raw after the draft, people were shocked to see Sasha beat Charlotte for the title. On Raw, though, that's why it's pretty crazy. We all thought, they're going to face at SummerSlam and Sasha's going to win the belt. But they gave it to her on Raw. So that was pretty good. That was a good move, I think, to have a new champion on a live show other than a pay-per-view show. Hasn't happened since, I think, Roman Reigns. So it's better than that one. But yeah, Sasha won, and now she's just, I don't like her as champion, but I'll let her. I like Charlotte better. I think people hate me for saying that. I don't care. I want Charlotte to win, but everyone knows, and I think everyone knows. I've been looking at WWE.com. I already made my prediction, but everyone at WWE.com is saying that it will be Sasha, and I gotta agree. Because I think everyone thought they were going to face at SummerSlam and Sasha was going to win the belt there, but since she's already got the belt, they're just going to keep it on her. I don't see them giving us to Charlotte. And besides, Dana Brooke's not there, so can't do anything, really, to help her win. So it's going to be Sasha Banks no matter what. So we got the Demon, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins. This is to crown who is the first ever Universal Champion. Even though that's pretty much, there's a few different wrestling leagues that actually have that name. I think there's a Puerto Rican wrestling group where the champion right now is actually Carlito from WWE, who used to be in WWE, Carlito. But the title, they didn't really give much hype on the title, but the match itself, yes, they did. I don't think I've seen the title. I don't think they showed it yet. Maybe they showed it on their website, and I just don't bother looking. But this will be the match of the night. I think this will be the best match. Because anyone can win, in my opinion. I think Corey Graves said that last night too, or maybe was it Corey Graves? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not really sure, but I don't know who will win this one, honestly, because I made my prediction, but I don't know who will win this because it's for the winner to be the first ever champion. At first, I was thinking Oh yeah, it's gonna be Seth, but now I'm thinking it's gonna be Finn Balor because all the hype they're doing into the Demon basically, which is the alter ego of Finn Balor. They're just making so much on Balor. I saw it as a AJ run. Remember how AJ just came to the company and he already got a match to face Roman Reigns for the WWE Champion at, was it, yeah, Extreme Rules, and then they had another match of Payback, and then Roman won both, and we all saw those coming, really. Not the second one as much, but I just think it was too quick for Finn Balor to come off of NXT and to face for the champion, and especially to be the first ever champion. But I think they're gonna give it to him. I'd like to see the first ever champion to be named on Seth Rollins' note. I'd like to see that, but I gotta say it's gonna be Finn Balor. And maybe Seth will win it afterwards. Who knows? But I'm going to say Finn Balor will be the first ever Universal Champion. And our final match for the WWE Champion Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, this was a shock, I guess, on the SmackDown when Dolph Ziggler won. I don't know what's with the super kick, though. What happened to the zigzag? Um, I guess that's his new move. His new finishing move, which kind of sucks because it's not really that great. He did it all the time, wasn't powerful, and now it's just knocking everyone out. Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, AJ Styles. It doesn't make sense, but they did do some hype into this on SmackDown, so that's pretty good. But the winner, I think, will be Dean because I cannot see Dolph Ziggler winning the WWE Championship. He was in the mid cards, just got off of a rivalry with Baron Corbin, right? Wasn't it Corbin was his last rivalry? Because I don't think he had a match at Payback. He probably did, and I just don't really remember. But the last pay-per-view match, I believe, was the Corbin match at Payback. Or was he in the Money in the Bank? Yeah, I think he was in the Money in the Bank, too. But otherwise, and then he gets a title opportunity versus other superstars like John Cena, AJ Styles, it was Corbin, Wyatt, and then Cruz and him. Of anyone they could have gave it to, they gave it to Dolph. Now they could have gave it to Corbin, or Wyatt, probably Wyatt, especially because he's been in the mid card. I technically think he's a mid card. I don't know if other people would, but they've been putting him there for a little while now. He used to be huge when he debuted. He didn't get, and he hasn't won a title yet. He has not won a title yet, so I think he deserves the title, not Dolph. Maybe he'll interfere and cost Dolph the match, and then that'll be a match at Backlash. Is that the new? Yeah, I think that's the new SmackDown pay-per-view. So Dean will win, as my prediction, and he will retain as WWE Champion. And these are the final predictions. I kind of messed up on the Enzo and Cass and the Jericho or Jericho and Kevin Owens. I did say Enzo and Cass, so I kept it. The winners are in green, and the losers are in red. Just Jericho is supposed to be in red. So those have been my SummerSlam predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tonight's SmackDown, so I might change my predictions, but I'm just going to leave them. I'll change them, but I won't say anything. I'll just keep them as they are in this video. I don't know if this is going to be my last video, if I'm going to post this right now, or if I'll post another video before. I probably will. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, leave a comment below if you want to. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already for more SummerSlam WWE predictions and plus video games. Me playing them, sucking at them, doing good, but more on the horrible side. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much.